Did you guys like that? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below if you guys like that. And a big up to my brethren DJ Veneto, aka Sheldon, for preparing that beat. Much appreciated to you, sir. Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing? I hope you all are doing well. I'm Simon Preston, and welcome back to Reggae Boys Commentary. This is the platform where we come together to discuss everything in relation to Jamaican football. This is your hub for everything Jamaican football related. It's a Thursday night. Are you guys doing okay? Well, tell us how you guys are doing. How has your week been progressing? Has it been a progressive week? Has it been one where you guys have been able to accomplish what you guys set out to do? Have you guys made plans in your notebooks for what lies ahead? Because remember, August 25th, August 27th, under 17 Reggae Girls play Panama in September, September 8th, September 12th, Reggae Boys against Honduras and Haiti. And of course, September 22nd, the Reggae Girls against Canada. First leg of the Olympic playoff. Yep, that's right. DJ Benito, big up. BM says, big up, Simon. Big up, how you doing, man? True G Music Group says, bless, productive week. Sounds good. So, as you guys can see, the title of this video. But first, let's hear what our sponsors have to say.
This video is brought to you by Andy Gone Nuts. 100% guaranteed fresh coconut water delivered straight to your door. Call 876-309-6128. That's 876-309-6128. Refreshing and affordable. For more information, follow them on Instagram at Andy Gone Nuts. Truly refreshing. And Crumble by Mrs. C. Old English fudge and other delectable sweet treats. Call or WhatsApp 876-586-0471. That's 876-586-0471.
Alrighty. So, Jason Guna says, blessings, Simon, blessings. The man with the always coming with the difficult questions, Jason Guna, always bowling at 96 miles an hour like Brett Lee, asking me if I would use an England jersey to wash my car. Anyways, let's get right to it, shall we? And let us have a conversation about a 23-year-old that has become the fifth Jamaican to parade his talent within Serie A, and that is Trivante Stewart. That's right, Trevante Stewart. Trevante Stewart è un nuovo giocatore della Salernitana. That's right, he's a new player that has signed for the Italian top flight club Salernitana. And of course, as we know, this is a team that has been in Serie A just for a few seasons now, and a team that is slowly but surely progressing in top flight football within Italy. And of course, you know, over many, you could say, they produced many players that went on at the 2022 World Cup. We're talking about players like Dylan Brun of Turkey, Boulaye Dia of Senegal, and Christophe Piatek at Poland. And look at the internationals that are on this roster in particular. Look at the international players that have even played for this club. You know what I'm saying? And let's start within Concacaf. We know Guillermo Ochoa, so Trevante Stewart will know Ochoa quite well. Diego Valencia, Chile, Marco Zoro, the Ivory Coast. These are players that have played for the club. Rigobert Song, Cameroon, played for this team in particular as well. Even Frank Ribery. Frank Ribery played for this very, very club as well. Yep, Frank Ribery played for Salernitana in the 2021-2022 season. Of course, this followed his time at Bayern Munich and, of course, Fiorentina as well. You know, countless players have gone on. Players from the Italian national team, Walter Zenga, Salvatore Fresi, Marco Di Vao, David De Micheli, Roberto Breda, countless players have gone on to do that. Head coach is Paulo Sousa, and Paulo Sousa, I'm sure many of you would remember from his time at Juventus, Inter Milan as well, Parma, and of course the time that he had at Borussia Dortmund as well. Because remember Borussia Dortmund, he won the Champions League at Borussia Dortmund and at Juventus as well. Paulo Sousa, and I'm sure you guys will remember, was a member of that Portugal squad in the 2002 World Cup. You guys remember that? The 2002 World Cup where Portugal took on the United States in their first game and were trailing 3-0 in the first half. Paulo Sousa played for the Portuguese team in that tournament. Beto, and there was a Jeff Agus own goal as the United States recorded a 3-2 win. You know? The Portuguese bounced back with a 4-0 victory over Poland, but that was that. And then, of course, against South Korea. But that was all she wrote for the Portuguese in the 2002 World Cup. And so he try. BM, honestly, I embrace this opportunity that has been created and a great work from Kevin Cohen to be able to put in industrious work to sift out opportunities that are in the European landscape, whether that is Estonia, Latvia, Moldova, Lithuania, Kosovo, Albania, Armenia, Bulgaria, Macedonia, wherever that might be, Moldova. For me, it doesn't matter. If you're getting your foot wet in Europe, for me, that in itself is every reason to embrace. Yeah. So yeah, that's where we are. All right, BM, let me answer this now. So I'm a firm believer in data. First, let me say good evening to Blair Video, good evening to Live 11 Radio. Good evening to you guys, and hope you're doing well. I want to address this point before I press forward, right? So in the Men's World Cup, the FIFA Men's World Cup and the FIFA Women's World Cup, right? I've found a trend, and I'm going to tell you what that trend is. Every coach that has led their team towards glory was either born in that country or raised within that country. The only person that has won a FIFA World Cup as a coach and was not born in that country is Jill Ellis. Jill Ellis was born in England, but helped the United States win the 2015 and 2019 edition of the Women's World Cup. But Jill Ellis left England when she was 6 years old. So she spent the vast majority of her life in the United States. So she's an American, and you hear her accent. She is an American. I'm not saying you having an American accent makes you an American, but I'm making the point that she spent the vast majority of her life within the United States. So in that sense, she's American. Spain has if you go into this final, England versus Spain, Spain has a Spanish-born coach, right? And England has a Dutch-born coach. So if we're going to go based on what statistics has told us, Spain are the team that should win the trophy. If we're going to go based on those raw information, the evidence is there. If you have somebody that was born in that country, then they're more than likely to lead you towards the title. Spain's coach was born in Spain. England's coach was born in the Netherlands. So that's the high-profile situation that puts Spain in favor for the tournament itself. And you know what's going to be amazing? If you look at Salernitana this season in particular, and what they have, all of us on our eyes on Sunday at 11:30 a.m., will be glued to the TV. Why? Because they'll face Roma away in the first game of the Serie A. Jose Mourinho will have eyes on Trivante. I do remember you saying that. Absolutely. I do remember this was a point that you made mention to me. And, Javon plays, you're absolutely right. So credit. So that's where we are. Trevante also won the Premier League, even though he might not have won the Golden Boot. He won the Premier League. And now Colin Anderson is playing in Europe, and Trivante Stewart is playing in Europe as well. So full credit, and really happy for these guys. It means that we're going to have a new Golden Boot winner within the Jamaica Premier League for next campaign. So even better in terms of the next number 9 who will step up and make that impression. So yes, Trevante has shown exactly that he deserves this opportunity. Yeah. No, not necessarily, because if you look at the caliber of Trevante and you look at his characteristics as a footballer, Jose Mourinho would applaud it, because Trevante Stewart has size, he has youth, he has pace. A lot of these characteristics Jose leans on from a centre forward or a number 9. So he would probably say after the game, my scouting report showed Trevante Stewart, and I should have signed him. That is what I should have done. So that is what Jose would say. Jose Mourinho has a very good view of Jamaicans, You might not hear it publicly, but he has a lot of respect for Jamaica and Jamaicans. Quite a lot of respect. And I don't need to go into the history about Portugal and Jamaica. I don't need to do that, because, as you know, when Jamaica was a Spanish colony, they worked hand in hand with the Portuguese, and the Portuguese also had an influence on the island, which is why you do have persons with Portuguese names on this island: Sosa, Lopez, etc. You know what I'm saying? And even Jamaica's first goal scorer in international football was somebody of Portuguese heritage, and that was João Passalage, back in 1925. So Portugal's impact on Jamaica, they've left an imprint similar to Spain, similar to England as well. But we shouldn't be brushing aside our history, because this is what makes us who we are, Trevante is better than Lukaku, much better. Yeah. It's a step in the right direction through G Music Group, and there's more to come. So you can be absolutely certain about that, and very delighted that there will be more to come in the near future. That Jamaican player, Trivante, he took me by surprise. However, he is very new to the league. He can only be a star if I coach him. That's probably what Jose would say. Who knows? 2 seasons at Salernitana. But no, by then Jose is going to be the head coach of the Portuguese national team for 2026. I'm sure everybody would want to see the next chapter of that, of Pep coaching Spain, and also having Jose Mourinho being the head coach of the Portuguese national team. I don't think it's going to be long before Jose makes the transition from club football into the international arena. He did say a couple of years ago that international football doesn't sit well with him, because playing two games every 3 months or 2 games every 2 months, for him, he said he would get bored by that. But maybe in another 2 seasons or so, there could be some adjustments. This is his 3rd season at Roma, so we'll see. Yes, Jason Guna, you heard exactly what I said. Well, it says happy for Trevante. Yeah. Very happy for him. We're very happy for him. So, Trevante Stewart, the 5th Jamaican. The 5th Jamaican-born footballer to join an Italian club. Who are the first 4? Beverly Ranger, Who was the second? Luther Blissett, Rolanda Aarons, Trudy Carter, and now Trivante Stewart. Sir Devon, how are you doing, sir? Thank you very much for that suggestion, and duly noted. And this is something that I would say has to turn from a conversation into action. So I thank you for bringing this to me. But yeah, one step at a time, I do think it's something that is being worked on and has been working on, especially in recent times. So we can rest assured that this is something that will grow. So yeah, for sure, one step at a time. Personally, I feel, well, this is what I'll say. You know, when you look at clubs that are in Europe specifically, and even in the United States, once a week you have media day, and this is where you are not only engaging with the local media of your team, club, it's also in relation to the situation where you're sitting down and you know the expectations. So you're sitting down with members of the staff and they tell you the expectations of what is needed. You know what I'm saying? So you know the types of you can prepare mentally the types of questions that are to come. So for an example, a situation of performance. So after the game, it's always about performance, thoughts of performance. That's one that will always come. After the performance of an individual, it's going to be a performance of the team, thoughts of the result, what needs to be perhaps room for improvement for the next game. These are general questions that would be asked after a game. So in club football, you know that this is something that can be anticipated by players and also by coaches as well. And in addition to those four areas as well, it depends on what happens in the game. You know, Trevante scoring a hat trick, you know, Simon scoring a hat trick, Devon scoring a hat trick. What does that moment mean for us? How do we feel about that moment? So I fully understand what you're saying there, for sure. And there he is. Trevante Stewart è un nuovo giocatore della Salernitana. There we are. Absolutely, he's going to go there. He's going to do his best as well. So that is for absolute certain. Mm-hmm. For me, I've always thought about it in this light. Your first season, you're getting your feet wet. You're getting adjusted to things. Second season, things are slowly but surely falling into place. And the third season, bam, 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 you're firing at all cylinders. That's how, for me, that's how I look at things. Absolutely. And now everybody's going to be looking, we're going to have our eyes glued to not only the Premier League, but also to the Serie A as well. I know many people have questions in relation to the club. So let's talk a little bit about the club, shall we? They finished 15th in Serie A last season. 15th in Serie A last season. They've won a couple of trophies. They've won the Coppa Italia Serie A C in 2014. They've also won Serie A D in 2012. They also won Serie A B in 1947. So the vast majority of their trophies have come in the second and third tier of Italian football. In terms of how last season went, we spoke about them finishing 15th. They had 9 goals and 15 draws in 38 matches. They scored 48 goals and they conceded 62 goals after finishing the season with 42 points. At home, 7 wins and 6 draws. That's what their home record was like. 7 wins and 6 draws, scoring 30 goals and conceding 26. Their best spell last season was when they went 9 games unbeaten to the back end of the season. In fact, from game week 24 to game week 38, in fact, their last 14 games of the season, They only lost twice in their last 14 games of the season. So that gives a bit of perspective in things as well. Let's go into this season now. What are we looking forward towards for Salernitana? So, in relation to Salernitana, preseason went very well for them. Defeated two Italian clubs, drew with one, and defeated Augsburg from Germany. Serie A season starts this weekend, and they'll also take part in the Coppa Italia. They've gotten off to a strong start in the Coppa Italia after defeating Ternana 1-0. Ternana is a Serie A B club, so already in the Coppa Italia, you have Salernitana in the last 32 of the competition. Salernitana in the last 32 of the competition, they're gonna have this round of 32 clash in October, late October, early November, and they're gonna face Sampdoria. Yep, the same Sampdoria that got relegated last season. Yep, they're gonna face Sampdoria at home in Salerno, and Salerno is located in the south of Italy, southwest of Italy. Yeah, that's the best way to describe it in terms of that venue. In terms of the stadium where they play, it's called a Stadio Arecci, and the Stadio Arecci is home to a 37,000 capacity stadium, 37,800. Yeah, it's a grass pitch, and it was opened in 1990. There's been a handful of times where the Italian national team has played there, but not often. Italy more normally plays in Rome or Milan. Yes, we spoke about Frank Ribery. We spoke about Frank Ribery playing there, and there are other players, high-profile players, that have played at this club in particular as well. Quite a number of them, in fact, in terms of those players that have gone on to play. I've spoken about 3 players that actually went on to play at the World Cup in Qatar last year. Milan Duric from Bosnia, Joel Obi from Nigeria, Lassana Koulibaly from Mali, Fedrik Veseli from Albania, Stefan Strasberg from Norway, Vid Belek from Slovenia, Frank Ribery, France, Andre Cristeria from Romania, Rigobert Song, Cameroon, Danny Tiato. You guys remember Danny Tiato, former Manchester City player? Yeah, same man, Danny Tiato. Marco Zorro, Diego Valencia, Guillermo Ochoa. So, quite an abundance of depth in that regard. How does that sound? No? It certainly is good news, isn't it? But yeah. Yes, that is correct. Ochoa and Trivante, those are the 2 at this point in time. Well, BM, everything in due course. We'll get all the information in due course in relation to all of these players, but one step at a time. That's how we can take it from here in relation to this information and others that will open up in due course. All right, so it's just only a matter of time before all of these aspects will come into high gear, but one step at a time. The transfer window is still open, so we'll see how it will all unfold. All right. Shall see. By the way, have you guys seen? I'm going to Italy next week and also visiting Okay, very nice, Devon. Okay, sounds good, sounds good. Tell him all about Trivante. Tell him all about Trivante. By the way, have you guys seen the new promo? Take a look. What do you guys think? Big up DJ Vineta for the beat. Enough respect, man. Enough respect. Yep, Ravel Morrison is at DC United. Colin Anderson is in North Macedonia. So we wish them all the best, certainly, in this campaign. By the way, the situation with the Leagues Cup, because I'm sure you guys are realizing Concacaf. You have the Concacaf Caribbean Cup, you have the Concacaf Central American Cup, and you also have the Leagues Cup. Now, the Leagues Cup, as you know, determines places for the 2024 edition of the Concacaf Champions Cup. By virtue of Inter Miami's victory, that means that they'll face Nashville on August 19, which is Saturday, in the final of the Leagues Cup. However, in the third place playoff, right, Philadelphia Union, home of Andre Blake and Damian Lowe, will face Monterrey, right? The winner of the third place playoff will qualify for the 2024 edition of the CONCACAF Champions Cup. All right? You guys get the picture? I hope you do, because it quite is an interesting one. So Nashville and Miami, they're already qualified. They're already qualified. Oh, can you guys imagine Inter Miami winning the FIFA Club World Cup? MLS team winning the FIFA Club World Cup. That would be something. That would really be something. Something good for CONCACAF, though, that's for sure. But yes, the CONCACAF Champions Cup is going to expand to 27 teams. And there's going to be 3 qualifiers from the Caribbean. Big up, big up, big up, big up, big up. Big up, Mario. So let me explain now the inaugural CONCACAF Caribbean Cup. The winner of the inaugural CONCACAF Caribbean Cup will qualify for the round of 16 of the CONCACAF Champions Cup next year. Remember, the CONCACAF Champions Cup is just renamed. So it's no longer the CONCACAF Champions League. It's now called the CONCACAF Champions Cup. Second place team, the runners-up and the third place team will qualify for the 2024 CONCACAF Champions Cup. All right. So one thing for certain, either Philadelphia Union or Monterrey will be playing in the CONCACAF Champions Cup next season. 2023 US Open Cup, which is ongoing, the winner of that competition will also qualify as well. That tournament is at the semi-final stage as well, where you have FC Cincinnati taking on Inter Miami and Houston Dynamo taking on Real Salt Lake. Yep, Real Salt Lake. Yeah, can you imagine? So that's where we are. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So that's where we are. So that's where we are. That's where we are right now. So that's where we are. One step at a time, Sir Travis. Remember, we don't count the chicks before they're hatched. You know, in this life, a lot can happen. So, one step at a time. It will fall into place and it will happen, but one step at a time. Okay, Rico Don. So it starts next week, Friday at Sabina Park, Jamaica against Panama at Sabina Park. That will be at 6 o'clock. And Jamaica will play Panama again on Sunday. That's August 27. And that game will be at 4 o'clock. Yes, that is right. He's in Bosnia, and he's also the first Jamaican to apply his trade within Bosnia. Any questions, further questions on that, Rico Don? Do let me know. Well, actually, Deco K, 2K, Canadian clubs are involved in it as well. So it's not just American and Mexican clubs, but Canadian clubs are also involved within the league as well. So that's where we are. Mm-hmm. Yep. Remember, it's not the CFU Club Championship is now called the Concacaf Caribbean Cup. The name of the competition has changed. And next week, Wednesday, the first game will take place between Harbourview and Dunbeholden. Okay? Harbourview against Dunbeholden. That will be the first game of the competition. All right. The following, I guess you're talking about the fixtures that will be in Jamaica, because Cavalier is going to play Port of Spain on the 31st, and that is 2 weeks from now. Yeah, 2 weeks from now. So that's where we are there. No, man, Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver are there. No problem. But yes, Harbourview against Dunbeholden, the first game, 5:06 p.m. next week, Wednesday, at the National Stadium. Okay? Harbourview against Dunbeholden next week, Wednesday, at the National Stadium. Okay? This will be Dunbeholden's first ever appearance within the competition itself. Yeah, their first time. So that's where we are. That's where we are. Once again, we want to send a massive, massive congratulations towards Trevante Stewart for his move, and also to Kevin Lambert. That's right, Pepe. Kevin Lambert has made his move as well to Real Salt Lake. Yeah. Well, Lisa, as made mention before, he was not selected in DC United's roster for the 2023 season. Any teams from the Dominican Republic? Yes, you have Cibao FC, and you also have Mocha as well. So you do have teams from the Dominican Republic that are in the competition. So yes. Kevin Lambert joins the likes of Andy Williams, Cara Stevenson, Ryan Johnson, Robert Scarlett, Omar Holness, and Demar Phillips as Jamaican internationals who have plied their trade at Real Salt Lake specifically, So for me, I think this is great. And I know that I forgot her name, and that's Lovell Palmer. But Andy Williams, Ryan Johnson, Robert Scarlett, Lovell Palmer, Cara Stevenson, Omar Holness, Demar Phillips, and now Kevin Lambert at RSL. Yeah, so those are the names. Quite a list, eh? There. So that is where we are. Thank you very much to everybody that has taken the time out to watch this video. I'm grateful for you guys to be able to tune in for this. Greatly appreciate it. If you guys haven't already, I encourage you to hit the like button. After you hit the like button, to hit the subscribe button as well to Reggae Boys Commentary for more content. Would really appreciate it. All right, guys. More content to come your way quite soon. Yep.
This video is brought to you by Starboys Juices, infusing fruits with sea moss in Philadelphia and New Jersey. Refreshing, nutritious, and delicious. There are numerous flavors to choose from. There is strawberry sea moss, peanut hard-on, beaten thing, pineapple sea moss, mango sea moss, pineapple ginger, ginger root, cucumber ginger, and so much more. Call Starboys at 1-267-904-3454. That's 1-267-904-3454. Call now and you won't be disappointed. If you think the juices were good, then try Starboys Jello, full of flavor and sumptuous. Again, call Starboys at 1-267-904-3454. That's 1-267-904-3454.